With more for your ears only, I'm Melissa Axelbarth.
I'm David Alpern with this quote from the news. I wish I could do this forever. I can't, though. That was legendary award-winning radio and TV writer and personality Andy Rooney in his 1097th and final 60 Minutes essay on October 2nd. Right as usual, sadly, Rooney died last week at 92 from complications after surgery. He was irreverent, irrepressible, and irreplaceable. Now this.
You may know my name, but you do not know the legend. I protect the innocent.
Puss, can you help us? There's no time to waste.
I will do it.
I shot Santa Claus in the face. He's real, and I shot him in the face.
What the...
Who knew there were 3Ds in Christmas? But just in time for the holidays, we have Puss in Boots 3D, Talking Cats, with an accent yet, and both more human and more weird, a very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas.
Of course, the rest of the first films of this holiday season run the gamut. Some have no other purpose than to be fun, others have a message, and there's creepy, spine-tingling horror that gets into your head. But which to see and not to see? For your ears only, we're joined again by Boston Globe film critic Ty Burr. Welcome back to the program.
Thanks, David. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, let's start with Puss in Boots 3D. We have to, because, see, I have to see everything Antonio Banderas is in, even if it's only his voice, his title character. But is this worth the time for kids and their parents, adults unencumbered by kids?
Well, hopes were not exactly high for this movie because it's not a sequel, but it is a spin-off. And it's a spin-off of a pretty tired series, the Shrek series. At this point, you hear 3D and you're thinking gimmickry because too many not-so-great 3D movies have come out over the last year and a half, and the process is often done cheaply and it looks good. But you know what? I was surprised. Puss in Boots is actually a very, very funny film. It comes from DreamWorks. The 3D is actually extremely well done. It looks great. And I got to say, Antonio Banderas gives a world-class voice performance. He really makes the movie worth seeing, certainly for kids, certainly for parents, and if you're an Antonio freak, which I guess you are, no shame in that. Many of us are. Yeah, sure, go see it.
Another just-for-fun film is a very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas. Another crazy ride?
Yeah, but not for the family audience. Have you seen any of the Harold and Kumar movies? They are sort of the Cheech and Chong movies of our generation. They are proudly weed-soaked and smoked and very, very smart and funny for all that, very sort of subversively witty. But this is definitely not a movie for young kids or parents. This is a movie for, people in their 20s and 30s that are going to get on that very ironic, fairly hip wavelength where there's, Harold and Kumar, they're trying to grow up. They can't grow up because they're Harold and Kumar. And they do have run-ins with Santa Claus and with Jesus Christ. And it's a movie that definitely is going to poke some people in the wrong place, but it's very funny. The two guys who play Harold and Kumar, John Cho and Cal Penn, are very, very witty actors. They know how to get the nuances out of the, occasionally Beavis and Butthead style lines. But this is definitely a cut above that sort of humor. Like I said, it's not for everybody, but for a third film in a series, it's a lot funnier than it has a right to be.
Let's do a 180 and head to horror. Take Shelter. Just reading about it makes my hair stand up. A man who slowly gives into a sense of dread and starts to prepare for an evil that maybe only he can feel. What and who did you like best in this film?
Well, first of all, I have to take quarrel with the hanging the horror genre label on it, because this is not a horror movie. It's actually, the dread is deeper than that. It's a drama. It's kind of an indie drama. I saw it first at Sundance, and it stars Michael Shannon, who's a character actor that probably, all of you have seen in one thing or another. If you've seen Boardwalk Empire, he plays the crazed prohibition agent. He's always playing somebody who's got a screw loose. Here, he plays a normal man, a normal middle American guy, works on a drill rig and has a wife and a kid, and one day he just starts sensing something coming in on the wind, and he doesn't know what it is, but he knows it's bad, and he starts digging a fallout shelter in his backyard, and everybody starts thinking he's crazy, and he starts thinking he's crazy. And because it's Michael Shannon, eventually he does pop loose in a rather remarkable way. But the thing that makes this movie special for me is that it really gets at a lot of the just average, unknown fears a lot of us have, especially people, breadwinning guys who are trying to raise families, that it all could just go to hell at any minute. So there's no specific. This is not a horror movie in the sense of ghouls and people jumping out with knives. No, it's a horror movie in a much more deeper, dramatic sense, and it's really good.
What about The Rum Diary, based on the novel by Hunter Thompson, the god of gonzo journalism, making himself part of every story? Does it capture that high-octane lifestyle?
Well, The Rum Diary is kind of an odd fish because it was the first novel, or one of the first novels that Hunter S. Thompson wrote, and it was unpublished until the late 90s. So it was not, he wrote it in the early 60s, about his early days in Puerto Rico working on the English language newspaper there. So it's not typical Hunter S. Thompson in that he's not doing every drug that's not nailed down. He's drinking a lot, or rather the character that's clearly based on him, and is played once again by Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp keeps sort of going to the Hunter S. Thompson well. He already was in a version of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. The movie's sort of been retroactively Hunter S. Thompsonized. If you read the book, it's a good book. It's a young man's book. But they've added in a lot of gonzo and taken out a bunch of characters. And it doesn't really have a lot of focus. It's fun. It's watchable. But you come away from it feeling that The Good Doctor has not been done right by.
Boston Globe film critic Ty Burr. And this has been For Your Ears Only.